What's up, everybody? I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. As always, my name is Mel and welcome to my channel, Divine Feminine Works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, this is going to be the Scorpio season reading. It's actually a channeled message and a reading. So I really felt pushed to do this video, not only because Scorpio season is upon us, but I received a particularly important message this morning that I wanted to share with everyone because I feel like it's something that a lot of people need to know and or be reminded of. So I was getting everything ready, I pray, I shuffle the cards, I lay them out, I get my setup good to go and ready. I'm a Virgo, I'm slightly OCD, so everything has to be in its little pile and fixed nicely. And the tarot deck that I'm using today, which is the Deviant Moon Tarot, I set it over here and I'm still, fixing everything and putting everything in its place. And there's one card that kept falling off the table. It's like I would put the deck down, the card would fall off. I'd put it back up. Then the card would fall off again. 3 times this card fell off the table. So I was like, okay, this card is definitely calling my attention. Let me see what it is. And lo and behold, it is the 7 of Swords. And this is perfect. This goes right along with the channeled message, and it really kind of goes along with Scorpio season. Even though this isn't, Scorpio is a water sign. Even though this isn't a cups card, it's a swords card, it's still pretty accurate. And if you take a look at this card, we see this masked woman, almost looks like someone you'd find in a circus, right? And it looks like she's doing this trick, almost like, she's a sword swallower. But if you look really closely, the rope that's holding the 2 swords together looks very frayed. And I feel like unknowingly, she is setting herself up to be impaled. Pretty much. Now, the traditional definition or the traditional meaning for the 7 of Swords is like deception. It's underhanded activity, which is true and which I feel this card also depicts. But what I feel like it's saying, at least for this Scorpio season, is that a lot of us engage in perhaps risky behavior or things that are just, like I said, it looks like she works for the circus, right? This looks like something that she does in the normal course of her business, one could say, right? So even if you're not engaging in risky behavior, sometimes a lot of the things that we do normally as part of our everyday lives can really set us up to be hurt, can set us up for disappointment, can set ourselves up for physical pain, or can just be something that negatively affects us. Arguably speaking, I feel like being impaled by a sword would definitely qualify as something negative, don't you? But this kind of goes right into the channeled message that I received this morning, because a lot of us do, okay, before I even get into what a lot of us do, let me get into sort of the energy of Scorpio season and the energy of the times we're in generally. So a lot of people associate Scorpio season with spookiness, with the occult, with Halloween, with All Souls Day, with ancestors, and all of that would be correct. Scorpio is a very mysterious sign and a very mysterious season. The veil is at its thinnest, so communicating with other realms is a lot easier. And I feel like it's at that point that a lot of our ancestors have a lot to say. And there's a lot that we can learn with communing with ancestors, with communing with spirits. A lot of things we learn are things that we can't see. A lot of things we can only see with our natural eyes. A lot of us depend on the spirit realm in order to show us what we cannot naturally see ourselves. So the veil being thin can be a really great thing because it gives us a bunch of information that we otherwise wouldn't have access to. It's also a wonderful time to remember our ancestors. One of my absolute favorite movies is the Disney movie Coco. I feel like the way that they describe, now I'm not Mexican, so I can't speak to the Mexican culture aspect of the movie, but the ancestral part of it was, I felt like it was put in a way that was super understandable and so important. You know, it's all about remembering. And with Mercury being in the sign of Scorpio right now, and definitely as Scorpio season begins, that's where Mercury is going to be placed, communicating with our ancestors is like super important right now. The astrology itself even supports it. But in any event, remembering, which is also a part of Mercury retrograde, our ancestors is super important. It gives them energy. Apart from just remembering them, you can also energize your ancestors by giving them offerings, prayers, talk to them. You know, a lot of them, just as much as you need their help, a lot of them need your help too. And Scorpio season is such a wonderful time to open those doors to communication and to the love and the protection and the guidance that they have to give. Now, one of the messages I got this morning is about discernment, particularly during Scorpio season, but more so during just the time that we're living in generally. There's so much going on. And there are so many things that are really meant to distract us at this point. Distract us from what we need to know and distract us from where we need to go. And I feel like a lot of that is taking place within the spiritual community. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty, and I say plenty of people who are out here doing some really great work and who are really a source of information and even inspiration to a lot of people. But also, truth be told, there are a lot of spiritual people out here that are full of shit, that are jumping on a trendy bandwagon and who just want to ride the wave for what it's worth, particularly in this economic season that we're in. A lot of people just want to make money. A lot of people think it's cute. A lot of people like the aesthetic. A lot of people like being called bruja or witch or warlock or whatever the fuck they want to be called. And it's not authentic. And even in doing so, they may not even be doing it from a place of negativity, from a place of fucking people up or whatever. But the fact that they're not authentic about it and they're trying to lead people, where do you think you're leading anybody if you're not living from a place of authenticity? You're not leading anyone anywhere positive, let's be real. So you really have to be careful who you follow and who you listen to. Because apart from people who were just riding the wave and, you know, love the aesthetic, there are also some people out there who are out there doing some nefarious shit. In these times that we're in, a lot of people are getting desperate, very desperate. And a lot of people are calling on entities and they are trying to either help themselves by knocking someone else over, or they're trying to just stop people who are here to do good work in their tracks. And the form that all of this takes, meaning however this may play out in your life and however you may encounter what I just spoke about, can run the gamut. I mean, it could be as innocent as you liking someone's Instagram post who sells crystals or whatever. It could also be, you know, you're a light worker yourself and you're actually getting spiritually attacked by some people. It could be, you know, it could be a variety of things. But the thing that you need right now is discernment. And discernment comes from within. There's so many. Here's the thing with spirituality that I love. Spirituality is all about guiding you within. But what ends up happening is spirituality, much like anything else, is becoming crowded with. It's like everyone wants to sell tarot cards. Everyone wants to sell crystals. It feels like people are selling so many things that take you outside of yourself. So an industry, an ideology that is meant to have you go within is actually making you go without, because you feel like you need cards, crystals, candles, stones, whatever it is. You feel like you need external things in order to go within, which just isn't true. You need yourself. You need to just go within. Tools can be very helpful. I'm not saying that there isn't a place for them. I'm just saying over dependence on them is counterproductive. It's doing the exact opposite of what spirituality is meant to really do. It's meant for you to foster a genuine and profound relationship between yourself and God, or between yourself and whomever, whether you call it source, whether you call it the universe, whether you have particular deities, whatever it is to foster a relationship with that in order to live your best life here on this earth. And you have to be mindful of where you're being led and who is doing the leading. Because when I tell you there are wolves in sheep's clothing, there are sharks in sheep's clothing, there are monsters in sheep's clothing. There are a lot of people out there, and I'm not using this platform to fearmonger. It's not about fear mongering, but you also need to know the truth. And that is the crux of Scorpio season, is finding the truth. It's getting down to the heart of the matter. It's going into the deepest, darkest depths in order to find that truth, that essence. That's what Scorpio season is about. And that's why discernment is so important, because you have to be able to do that with whatever it is that you surround yourself with, whatever it is you consume. You have to be able to discern, is it leading you in the right place? Is it aligned with what you are doing? Because it is very easy to be led astray in these times. A lot of wolves appear, a lot of wolves have a great aesthetic, and they can talk a good game. And they can say, oh, do this and do that, and it's this and it's that, and it's so easy to be led astray. The only way you know is if you practice discernment, and if you use your intuition, and if you look with your third eye and not your natural eyes. Everything is energy, and energy is used in a variety of ways. You can use it externally to do things, and you can use it internally to receive things. And a lot of times we need to be cognizant of what we allow to mingle with our energy. I mean, the simplest form of that is who you engage with on a personal level, on an intimate level, people that you're having sex with. Like, you take on someone's energy when you have sex. Whether you think it's a really profound thing, or even if you think sex is just merely sex, there's an energy exchange. No doubt about that. So obviously, you got to be mindful of who you sleep with. But, excuse me. Oh my gosh, my throat. It almost feels like it's closing up. Whoa. Oh my gosh, that was the weirdest thing. I feel like someone doesn't want me to say what I'm saying right now, but whatever. So obviously sex is an energy exchange. But even the people that you associate with, and we all know this to a certain extent, you can tell people who don't have good vibes, who don't have good intentions. But sometimes good people can have bad intentions. And sometimes they can infuse those bad intentions onto whatever it is you're doing. Or whatever it is you're trying to do. Sometimes people just, people are complex. And I feel like that bodes well with Scorpio. People are very complex. Scorpio can be a very complex sign. Not in a bad way, but just people are more than what meets the eye. There's a lot underneath the surface that we can't see. I mean, when you look at the ocean, let's say you're 30,000 feet above sea level, right? And you're looking at the ocean and it looks beautiful and crystal blue. You can't see what's at the very bottom of the ocean, and it's so dark down there. Like, that is like the essence of Scorpio. What you see on the surface doesn't even compare to what is underneath the surface. And you really need to know where people's hearts are. You really need to know what people's true intentions are. And again, the only way you're going to really know that is if you practice discernment. A lot of people, and it's not to say that there are like millions of people walking around just wanting to destroy other people's lives. Like I said, people are complex. You've got really great people who may have bad intentions with respect to one particular thing or one particular, person. You have people who want you to do good, but don't want you to do better than them. You have people who are low-key jealous. You have people who are insecure and project that insecurity onto you. Like, there's so many different things at play. And all of this is bouncing around in this particular environment that we're in right now, where the veil is thin, people are desperate. We're in the middle of spiritual warfare. And there's only two sides. And you got to pick a side. There's no half step in here. You're either with it or you're not. You're either on one team or the other. It's red pill or blue pill. And some people are realizing they may not be on the right team. And they're getting real desperate with their shit. They're getting real desperate. And desperate people can do really fucked up things and can put you in really fucked up situations. So you need to really be mindful, again, of who you're following, who you associate with. Because again, there's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. And you don't know where they're leading you. Some people can really be leading you off a damn cliff. And because they got a great aesthetic, because they talk a good game, you're like, oh, okay, this can't be too bad. And again, it's not like you're an idiot or anything. It's just, sometimes things are either appealing to you or they just sound like they make sense. But that's where discernment comes in. So it's wonderful to be able to use Scorpio season to commune with the other side, the other realm, so that they are your eyes, your ancestors in particular. They're your eyes on the other side, and they can see much farther than you can. But not just that, they're also your first level of defense. So if you are in a situation where you're in harm's way, you won't even believe the lengths that your ancestors will go to protect you. But it's a two-way street. You can't just expect them to protect you and you're not feeding them. You're not communing with them. You're not listening to them, because a lot of them need you as well. And that's what Scorpio season is really about. Like I said, it's about getting to the heart of the matter. It's about truth. But there's also a certain, every sign has a flip side. And Scorpio can be very jealous. It can be obsessive. It can be jealousy and obsessiveness are two of some of the stronger sort of negative Scorpio aspects. And the fact that we're entering into Scorpio season, particularly with the times that we're living in right now, jealousy is running rampant. People are obsessed with making money. People are obsessed with getting ahead. You have to wonder, though, to what extent are they willing to go? And you definitely don't want to be, you definitely don't want to find out that answer the hard way. So it's all about discernment. Really understand and really take the time to really think about who you have around you. What are they doing? You can tell by the fruit. You can tell by the fruit that people bear what they're about. If you see someone is constantly in drama, someone is constantly gossiping, all of those quote unquote low vibrational things, do you really think they're going to be able to give you that spiritual insight that you feel that you need? And granted, especially if you're like talking about subscribing to people on YouTube, you don't know what people do in their personal lives, right? But I guarantee you, if you are tapped in and you are using your discernment, you can tell what somebody is about just by watching them. You don't really need to know a lot about their personal life, because if they if they are with the shits, right? If they are really spiritual, if they're really about that life, you can tell by what they're saying. You can tell by, their channel. There's a lot of ways that you could tell. But if someone is really on some bullshit, or just riding a wave or a trend, or is really just, not a good person, a horrible person, you can also tell that too. So again, the key word for Scorpio season is discernment. Discernment. And protect yourselves. Get your protection game up. Scorpio season is a lot of shit goes down spiritually during Scorpio season. And you don't want to be caught in the crossfire. You don't want to be caught in anything that is detrimental to your well-being. So get your protection game up during Scorpio season. And that was the message that I got that I wanted to impart upon you all. So let's get into the oracle and the tarot and see what messages Spirit has to say regarding Scorpio season. So I'm using the Santa Muerte Oracle. I really like this deck, and I thought it was appropriate for Scorpio season. So let's get started with that. All right. So this card is 24. I want to make sure you can see this without the glare. It almost looks like a procession of sorts. Interesting. All right, I'm going to read from the book. Oh, so many things I'm noticing. If you notice right here, this one right here, it's got a mirror and the world in their hand. So let us read what this card means. 24. Ooh. Flux. The last card of the world of formations shows us that we can only obtain self-realization and do significant things in the world if we understand that our present is generated and connected by every kindness and every crime of the past in a continuous flow. We are like antenna that can receive and transmit the original light that comes from the 8th card of emanations, which also reaches us through our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors, and through the forms we have given our gods. This is the procession of ancestors. This is everything that has come before us. But even the world, see, the world is the last thing here. There are eons and eons of lifetimes that have culminated to get us here to this point right now. And like it says, we can only obtain self-realization and do significant things in the world if we understand that our present is generated and connected by every kindness and every crime of the past in a continuous flow. It also says the advice of the dead. Remember that you are the one in the present holding the future. You are the present holding your future. And that if you want this future to be positive, you must first look inside yourself. Because every action you decide to take in the world is nothing but a reflection of yourself. What was I saying about discernment? Looking within, that's where you have to start. That's why now more than ever, this is so important. The world as it is right now, for us to succeed, for this to continue, because this will continue. We just happen to be here right now. But this will continue. For this to continue, we have to look at ourselves. We have to look at ourselves. We have to practice discernment. And we have to remember that there's a whole bunch of things that had to happen for us to be here right now. But what are we going to do with what we have right now? We have to take a hard look at ourselves at this time in order to move forward. All right, we've got exchanging gifts. Doesn't this remind you of those like jewelry boxes where the ballerina comes up? As soon as you open the box, the ballerina comes up and starts dancing and it plays music. This card is a 24, which is 2 and a 4 makes 6. It's all about how we relate to each other. And if you're talking about exchanging gifts, we're directly talking about how we relate to each other. But what gifts do people actually have, and what are they exchanging with each other? As I was saying before in the channeled message, sometimes people's energy is just low vibrational, right? Maybe what they have to give is low vibrational. You know what I just got? I don't know if you guys had this growing up in school, but you would have like Secret Santa, and you know, everyone was given a limit. Everyone was given like a dollar limit for the gift that they were to purchase. You know, the Secret Santa, everyone buys a gift, it's put into like a big pot, and then everyone gets it. You don't buy it. Sometimes you don't buy it for a particular person. Other times you don't know who you're exchanging gifts with. Oh, whoa. I'm sorry I'm doing this in such a roundabout way, but this is how it's coming out to me. You don't know, in Secret Santa, you don't know who you're exchanging gifts with or who the gift is coming from, right? So you have like a dollar limit for the gifts that you're supposed to purchase, and you have some people who go really under the dollar limit. Like you have people who look like they just like regifted something they already had in their house. And then you'd have those people who like go over the spending limit, and they have just such like a wonderful gift, right? With everything that's going on right now, it's almost like Secret Santa. You don't know who you're exchanging gifts with and what that gift is going to be. You're exchanging gifts with some people who are really just going to repackage something they have in their home. I'm not saying regifting is wrong. I don't do it. But I'm saying that sometimes people will just take any old thing that's been used and gift it for this Secret Santa. Others will go above and beyond. And it's hard because, at least in the Secret Santa example, you don't really have control over what you get and who is giving you a gift, right? Because you usually pick names out of a hat or something, and that's who you're supposed to get a gift for. But the thing is, now you have the control within your life to determine who you exchange gifts with. You don't have to exchange. If you are really not someone who doesn't want to be re-gifted something, who doesn't want something that someone just took from their house that's been used, wrap it up and give it as a Secret Santa gift, you have the option to not engage with that. If you want to engage with people that give extravagant gifts, people who go over the spending limit, you can do that. That's what discernment is about. You can discern who to exchange gifts with that align with what it is that you want. I know this was like a crazy roundabout way of saying it, but it's true. That's what you can do. You have the choice. We've got forgiveness. It says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Flow of love, energy. Forgiveness is super important for ourselves. And I know y'all have heard this before, that when you forgive someone, it's not so much for them, it's for you. And again, instead of walking around with this negative energy attached to you because you don't want to forgive yourself, you've got to release it. You've got to let it go. Forgiving yourself should be something that you practice often. Because so often we give compassion and forgiveness to everyone else but ourselves. And that ends up hurting us. Because if you're holding on to resentment, guess what you're going to attract? Resentment. And even if you do attract resentment in your life, forgive yourself for doing so. You're doing the best that you can with what you know, but when you know better, you do better. And then we have mice. The mice. What number is this? 23. 23 reduces to a 5, which is all about change. And in these times, I know it says mice, but there are a lot of rats out there. A lot. A lot of rats who are eating whatever they can in order to survive in these times. And that's what you have to be cognizant of. Yeah, I don't think rats or mice look cute. Some people may be like, oh, but they're cute or whatever. I mean, to each his own. But mice eat away at things, don't they? If you've ever had a mouse problem, or God forbid, a rat problem in your home, any little food that you leave out, they will find and they will eat it. They will eat through boxes. They will eat through bags. They, little by little, munch away at things that are yours, right? And that's exactly what's happening out in these streets. Energetically speaking, people are eating away at your energy, and you may not even notice, especially because it may be just little bites. But little bites continued over a period of time end up into a big chunk. And that's why you have to have discernment, because it doesn't come all at once, or it doesn't come in this big, this big sort of situation, although it can. But a lot of times it's just little digs, little slights, little things to sort of take away your energy, feed off your energy, things like that. That's how this is playing out. Ooh. I don't know if you could see that. It says spirits. And with this water here, this is like the perfect Scorpio season card. Scorpio is that deep ocean, that deepest part of the ocean where the spirits live. If you even do some research on a lot of the different cultural spirits, like if you ever follow me on Instagram, I do regular posts on divine feminines from different cultures, different divine goddesses from all walks of life. And in so many different cultures, spirits are contained in water, especially at the bottom of the ocean. And this card is just a reminder of how they are so ever present right now, particularly during Scorpio season. That they are here, particularly your ancestors. The veil is super thin. So it's time to commune with them. It's time to remember them. Remember, it's a progression. And there was so much that transpired for us to get here. And Scorpio season is all about remembering that. All right. So let's get into the tarot and see what messages we can have for Scorpio season. All right. Let's get the first card out here. We've got the Four of Pentacles. All right. It's almost like you need to guard, hide your kids, hide your wife. That's what I'm getting with this. It's like hiding not hiding, but protecting what it is that you value, your assets. Let's get another card out here. All right, yeah. We've got the Five of Wands. Why do you have to guard your assets? Because it's crazy out in them streets. Look at this. Everyone's fighting. Everyone's arguing. There's competition. There's strife. This is why you're guarding your possessions. Materially and spiritually. The Hierophant. And I love this depiction because he is actually praying. Getting in touch with spirituality during these times is necessary. It's not even an option anymore. It's necessary for all of us. It's not saying that you have to be part of an organized religion or be of a certain spiritual ideology. It's just like whoever it is that you believe in, whoever it is that you want to follow spiritually, whoever it is that you believe helps you make it through this life, that's who you need to get in contact with right now. That's who you need to commune with right now. We've got King of Swords. You notice at the bottom of this card, there's this little creature here with the world. I can't help but take notice that the world is coming up. Just like we saw in this card and we're seeing here. It's like there's this thing. I don't even know what this is. But it's almost like it's got its hands on the world and looks a little nefarious. I can't even front. But look at the size of this king with this sword in his hand. This is someone who in this position has the power to obliterate this thing right here. And he's holding the sword of truth. It is truth that can slay whatever this is. It's time for us to get in touch with the truth. And the truth of the matter is that we need to keep whatever is important to us, keep whatever is valuable to us close to our chest. We have to protect ourselves. There's also this lady that he's with. She don't look so good. Can't even front. If you notice this like fire next to her, it's also about even in this energy of protecting yourself, right? Try not to be led by someone who's about to lead you into the fire. It's almost like, God forbid, there was some sort of natural disaster, right? And you're just trying to get to safety. And in your desperation to get to safety, you follow someone who ends up taking you into a burning building or something. Like, that's the energy that I'm getting. You need to, and this is discernment. The truth is also about discernment. Discernment is what slays this. Discernment is what prevents you from falling into the fire, being led into the fire by these kind of things. If you get what I'm saying. Let's get 2 more cards out here. We've got the Ace of Wands, and I love this depiction of the Ace of Wands. It's about the fire of creation. There's so much possibility in these times as well. Despite what it may look like with all of the conflict and the turmoil and the chaos, so much can be created out of this. So much. So much can be created. And if you notice, it kind of looks like she has butterfly wings. Transformation. This is such a transformative time right now. And again, so much can be created. So much can be developed. So much can be invented, I'm hearing. Let's get one last card here. Justice. Again, with these 2 swords over here. Things being balanced. Everything in life is cyclical. And it's like after chaos, balance is restored. And I love the presence of this Justice card, particularly in this position, because it lets me know that despite what this looks like, despite this energy of running for cover because of all of this craziness that's going on, things are going to be put in balance. Things are going to be put in place. That's why there's this creative energy here. Because regardless of the chaos, regardless of the turmoil, everything is going to work out well. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, she's got her titties out. She's just like confident. She runs shit. And she's also a warrior. If you look, she's got this spear in her hand. I feel like this is the energy that we're being called to embody right now. First of all, it's feminine. So we already know that this is the time to get tapped into our feminine energy, whether you are a feminine or a masculine. But it's to do so confidently and authentically. You see, she's not really wearing any clothes. It's to be your authentic self, confidently. Dope shit. All right, let's get some clarification cards out here. Okay. I want to get one on this King of Swords. Adjudication. This is judgment time. It really is. And the particular message of this card is like the decision could go either way. So judgment could be in your favor or it could be against you. You get to choose. And that's the thing with discernment. You can choose. Just like I said before with exchanging gifts. You don't have to exchange gifts with everybody. You can choose who you want to exchange gifts with. And it's the same thing. Because when judgment falls and, sides are taken and determined, which side do you want to be on? Ultimately, it's up to you. Let's get one on Ace of Wands. Oops, that one fell. I'm not going to take it. Let's get one on the Ace of Wands. Look at that. That's so beautiful. Gifts. Like I said, this is a time of creation. A lot of people view babies as gifts, right? This is the energy that's available to you. And that's the beauty of a gift. We've got gifts here twice. Exchanging gifts and gifts. The best part about a gift is that you don't have to do anything for it, right? Like you just get it. You get it. And I love the fact that this is a 1 and a 7 that make an 8. It's forever. It's infinite. It's such a great gift that this is. And also I'm hearing discernment is such a great gift. It really is, because it can do wonders for you. And it can really put you in the places where you need to be. Places where you can receive extravagant gifts. You're not being re-gifted some bullshit from someone's house. You're getting a nice, opulent gift. I'm telling you, as crazy as these times may be, they are so pregnant with possibilities. It's insane. Let's get one on Justice. Message of concern. Justice is also about karma in a sense. It definitely is. And I feel like there are some people that are going to be very concerned with the justice that is exacted on them, particularly if they're leading people astray, if they're trying to bite off other people's energy. The justice that's coming for them. And again, it attributes to that feeling of desperation. That's why a lot of people are praying also. I'm hearing they're praying, P-R-A-Y-I-N-G, and praying, P-R-E-Y-I-N-G. Which side are you on? Are you praying or are you preying on somebody? Think about it. Those that are P-R-E-Y-I-N-G, I feel like I'm in a spelling bee. Some of them are praying real hard because they know their karma is coming, honey. They know their karma is coming and they are afraid. They are shitting bricks right now. But the best part is if you're not doing that, you don't have to worry about that. You just have to worry about keeping the wolves off of you. And what do you need to do that? Discernment. Discernment. For those that are on the right path, for those that are doing righteously, for those that are on their purpose, for those that are adding positivity to the world, you're getting the best gift out of the Secret Santa bag. You really are. You're getting the best gift. You're getting the gift that if the dollar limit was 10, this person spent $20 on a really nice gift, and you are the one that gets to receive it. Those that are preying on people, they either don't get a gift because, and sometimes if you, well, no, I was going to say sometimes if you don't bring a gift for the Secret Santa, well, you don't get a gift. But those who are preying on people, you're getting like the shittiest gifts in the bag. Just know that. Yeah. But the justice that's going to be exacted, you want to make sure, don't take on what you can't handle. Let's just put it that way. Don't take on what you can't handle. No matter how desperate you are. Because you may feel desperate, because you may feel like things are running out or things are slipping through your hands, doesn't give you the right to start chewing on other people's things. It doesn't give you the right to take what other people have so that you can get ahead. It doesn't give you that right. You can still do it, but just know that the consequences are what they are and be prepared for that. But regardless, I wanted to give you all this message so you guys can get a flavor for Scorpio season, so we can get some messages, so I can impart that channeled message I got on, I was given this morning, because I feel like, again, we all need to know that. And yeah, happy Scorpio season. Don't forget to remember your ancestors. Don't forget to give love and give thanks to those who have come before you, because it is the actions, both good and bad, of those that have come before you that allow you to be in this position today. And during Scorpio season, we give those forerunners love. We give them attention. We give them remembrance. And trust me, they will give you this. They will give you this. You take care of them, and sometimes they take care of you better. But again, happy Scorpio season. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading and you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. If you would like to order an astrology report or schedule a reading with me, those links are in the description box below. Throughout October, and I'm thinking throughout the month of November as well, I'm going to run a special on one of my tarot readings. The Messages from Spirit tarot readings are only $20. I'll put the link in the description box below so you can definitely schedule a reading that way. It's great because rather than asking a question, you just let Spirit tell you what you need to know. Clients love it. It's super informative. And again, $20. Don't miss out. Click on the link in the description box. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead where I do a quick and dirty tarot read as well as a quick and dirty astral report for the upcoming week. I have some nice content on there as well, so definitely follow me there so you don't miss that. As always, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. If you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, that link is in the description box as well. My loves, it is always a privilege and an honor to read for you and to impart these messages onto you. Love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.